welcome to this new Adobe Live show. We'll be live for 2 hours with Jackie Ho. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for joining us. It's all about UX design, and this is the second episode, day 2 of this week dedicated to UX design. How are you, Jackie, today?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had like this like sencha shot of, it's like a tea.
What is it? Oh, sencha tea.
Yeah. It's like really good,
okay.
but I like don't have it normally, so I'm like a little hyper. So if I
hyper,
talk
okay.
really fast, let me know. I know I talk really fast in general, but...
Okay, we'll see what's going on. And we have people joining, saying hi. Yeah, hi Ryan. I see Elena, Vincent, Donna. Thanks for watching. So if you missed the first episode from yesterday, we will recap, what happened. We also want you to know that we will do some giveaways at some point to people active in the chat. So if you're just watching, join us on behance.net/live and sign in the chat, say hi, ask a question to Jackie, and maybe you will win this XD socks for the winter and this notebook. And also we invite you to create and share what you are doing with Adobe XD. Adobe XD is a tool to quickly design and share screens, like interactive apps. But today the good news is that they have a free UI kit, a free project that they can use. And the theme is Book a Trip.
Book a trip.
Book a trip. But what's cool is that the UI kit has been designed by Sarah Parmenter, and this is a UI kit about traveling. So they can really pick elements.
So everyone's gonna use this UI
as
kit.
a base.
Cool.
Yeah. So they can change the colors, they can change everything, but at least they have a very good base to start, and
cool.
I think we'll be quite impressed by what they are doing.
Yeah.
So we will review your entries, your design during the show, and at the end, Jackie, I will ask you, okay, which one did you prefer? Which one do you want to reward?
Yeah.
And they can get a 1-year Creative Cloud subscription. So this is awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so maybe we want to talk about what you did yesterday and what's the plan for today?
Yeah, sure. So this is where we sort of left off yesterday. Just to start from the beginning, where I started off with going over some research notes that I had done from a couple interviews, and talked a bit about what were sort of the user pains and user goals that came out of those, as well as how those tied into the business goals that we have here. And when we say business goals, really it's goals that I have and my teammates have for the product. And more often than not, they tie directly from things that we're learning from the user goals. People like to say business goals are just user goals in disguise. It's like a catchy phrase. And then I also talked about what was sort of our vision for Kipup, which is the name of the product, as a whole. And so for people who are joining for just today, Kipup is a platform where judges and organizers, or for judges and organizers of Wushu competitions, to run their competitions, to judge them. Wushu can be pretty complicated to judge. It might be similar to something like gymnastics or ice skating.
Yeah, but this is a Chinese martial art.
Yes, Wushu is Chinese martial arts. Oh yeah, and I was gonna show a video of it.
Yeah.
Should I just do it right now? I was just gonna pull up.
Let's watch the video.
Yeah. Just in case people haven't
the audio on, or it doesn't really...
it's probably gonna be some like just fun music, but it should be fine. This video seems fine. So you watch like kung fu movies and things like that, it's like very similar.
Ooh.
Great music.
Here we go. Yeah, great music.
I'm also super curious if anyone watching actually knows what Wushu is or has done or practices Wushu. That would be really dope.
Yeah, let us know if you've heard of Wushu before. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, this is crazy.
I wonder if I can skip ahead a little bit.
Okay, so this is a competition.
Yeah, this is probably not very indicative of like what a competition actually looks like. This is probably more what a competition, like the type of judging that we're dealing with is for individual forms, such as this, where you would have one competitor going, you do a form, and you have like a panel of judges that are judging it. Yeah. I watch a lot.
Yeah, he transformed during the mid-flip. Yeah, that's the art of Wushu. Also the art of After Effects. Yeah.
So yeah, there's
that's intense.
empty hand forms. There are forms with weapons. There's also in Wushu. There's also Wushu sparring, but the app doesn't handle that.
Do you do it with the stick too?
Yeah.
In the Wushu? Wow.
Yeah, that's it's called staff.
Oh my god. Oh, she has a blade. Okay. That's nice. Whoa. And is it on music during competition? Do you play music or no?
So typically you don't play music
Okay,
unless
okay.
you're doing Tai Chi, in which you do.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but usually, so you have in mind like as a competitor, you have your plan in mind. Like I want to do this,
you know
this,
exactly
this,
what
this.
you're going to be doing.
And is it like ice skating where sometimes you have to do certain?
They're called compulsory movements, which means if you're
they
doing
expect you to do this, and this. Okay.
Basically.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay, so Wushu, so you're passionate about Wushu, and you started this startup, Kipup, so people can, be a judge. You know, like it's much. You were sharing with us yesterday that thanks to this app that you designed with your friends, it takes just a few seconds now to get the judging. Marks, you know, like, when before, like without the app, it could take several minutes and it can be stressful, frustrating because you want to know what happened. Okay. Yeah,
Kipup really helps you speed up your competition day because usually that can drag on for a really long time.
Wow, no, this is great.
Yeah. So what we worked on yesterday is sort of what are the next steps for Kipup as a product. We have a really great judging platform. We have all the tools necessary to like create events, create competitors, manage your event groups, things like that. But what's sort of the next step is enabling competitors to actually register for competitions themselves.
Okay.
So today, registration is usually done in a separate application. It varies based on the competition. And then at the start of every competition, to set it up, myself or one of my team members has to actually then migrate all of that competitor data into Kipup, and that can be a huge pain. And then also responding to changes, which happen all the time. Let's say a competitor says, oh, I actually don't want to participate in this event anymore, or oh no, I meant to register for intermediate, not beginner, something like that. They can actually, we want to enable them to actually go in and make those changes themselves, as opposed to
to manually in the database.
As opposed to like emailing us or emailing the organizers, and then they have to come in. There's just too many steps. So this keeps everything in sync from the competitor's perspective with what the judges are actually going to see.
Awesome.
Yeah, cool. So after we went over these things, taking a look at the user goals, we then generated what were some of the things we wanted to actually wireframe, such as viewing information about a competition, all the registration pieces, as well as just the ability for a user to log in, log out, all the necessary like reset password stuff. We probably won't design too much of that reset password flow just today because that's probably not that interesting or pretty straightforward. So we'll focus more on the registration piece. And where we sort of left off yesterday is, I'll talk about, so after looking at those things, if we switch to the GoPro, I started sketching on this notebook. We have things like coming in from a Facebook page or an event page of some sort, and then seeing information.
To promote the events.
Exactly. And then coming in to say, enter in your basic information, or if you've used Kipup before, sign in, which will then prompt a email and password to log in, and then moving on to selecting your event, which we'll probably spend more time on today. And after selecting an event, you move on to a confirmation screen where maybe you see some information about how much it's going to cost you, and some instructions for payment. And that's sort of where we left off with the sketches. And then if we switch back to my computer, here's where we ended up in XD yesterday.
Yeah.
We have this page. Imagine if you had clicked in from somewhere else. You see a page with just some basic information about this event. You can click to register, and then here's the prompt to say, do you have an account? Let's sign in. Otherwise, just go ahead and enter in this information. If you do sign in, that's gonna populate with information that you already have. And yeah, that's where we left off. And so for today, I think we want to continue on with finishing out these screens. So what's sort of like the happy path going forward with registering, choosing events, seeing confirmation, and then saying, yep, I'm good and done. And then we want to actually create a user interview script because tomorrow, at the start of the session, we're going to be doing a live user interview session. I have someone booked and scheduled to do an interview, and we tested out all the tech. Yeah, so he's not going to actually be here, but you'll see him on like a video conference, and he'll actually have the prototype with the Adobe link open on his phone. He'll be able to click through it, and we'll be asking him some questions. So cool. That's sort of where we're at.
Awesome. Yeah, so just a few words also about the challenge. So if you're participating today, so we invite you to download the UI kit, which is free. Someone was asking, where can I get the UI kit? So this is in the challenge tab, okay? On behance.net/live, we have the chat, info, and challenge. And you have the link, and you will download this UI kit. So it's made by Sarah Parmenter. Here, she designed actually an app with a flow. If we launch the prototype view, you will see that
wow.
There's a very huge flow. But what is interesting is that you will find at the top the components in a way and the icons she has been using and that she shared with us. So make sure to open the assets panel on the left because all the colors, everything is referenced as a global color. Okay, so if I come here, there is a gradient here. If I say edit, and if I change the theme, so let's do something more like this, more bluish.
Nice. Yeah.
It will change it everywhere. So every time you use the color, So this is how, and you can also do it like editing the text styles if you want, and change the typeface. So this is how you can really very quickly customize this UI kit to create your own travel experience, how to book a trip. So yeah, we are really looking forward to see what you will be creating. I will start reviewing some entries in maybe 15 minutes, okay, just to inspire our friends because we already have some entries from the first show. And yeah, and then we'll keep doing. Look at that. I have the remote control. Francisco is freaking out. He's like, oh my God, how is he changing the screens?
All right, cool. So where we left off yesterday, we have this, let me move this aside. We created this little gray box that says have a Kipup account, sign in. We're pulling a lot of patterns from Eventbrite, which is a really popularly used registration site for different events. So a lot of the patterns are from there, such as moving these elements closer or condensing them to the top, having this panel that if you click it, it would expand.
Yeah, so this panel was inspired by an experience that you noticed on Eventbrite.
I can pull it up again.
Yeah, so that's...
We'll probably take a look at it again.
It was a very good trick, like to,
yeah,
is there an actor in the industry who already solved these issues?
Yeah, totally.
I mean, to book events, yeah, maybe Eventbrite, they thought about it. And that's how Jackie noticed this very nice experience because she was wondering, okay, what happens if I'm not signed in? Like, what is the experience to invite me to sign in?
So what I had done yesterday also is I'd open up the inspector, and then if you click this icon over here, that looks like two rectangles together, it actually switches this to sort of a device preview. I just have on Nexus 5X, doesn't really matter. And then going into Eventbrite, I wanted to see what the login flow looked like, and it should be right here. Cool, so we see the name of the event, this date, at what time, and this box is what we pulled. Use Eventbrite before, sign in for fast and easy ordering, and then the information that you populate below. So let's go ahead and actually, do that. I'll just make a copy of that here. So if, let's say, I said, yes, sign in. maybe we want to have...
They were talking about the spaghetti view, you know, so we will add some spaghettis. Did you guess what spaghettis are?
No, what is that?
Oh, they are talking about this, the spaghetti view.
Oh.
Yeah, so we will add some spaghettis. Like we will link all the screens at some point, and you will understand what this is. But basically, this is in the prototype view of Adobe XD when you want to say, if I click on sign in, then I want to jump to this screen. So this is what Jackie is doing now.
Totally. What was I looking for? Oh, is it possible to change the nudge from 10 to something else?
No.
Cool.
You mean with when you press the arrow keys with the shift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you will have to do like 2 times and 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to. You know, like because you work with 8, I guess.
What's up?
I
work with 8.
You want 8? Yeah. All our guests they work with 8. So it's a good point. Like we should ask the XD team. Can someone check? So we have a portal. It's adobe.xd.uservoice.com. And it's the first time someone is asking and looking for it in the preferences, but I think it's a very good feature actually. So can we check on adobe.xd.uservoice.com if someone has submitted this feature? So it will be change the nudge.
Yeah.
So if I do shift arrow key, I don't want to move 10 pixels, I want to move 8 pixels. Yeah, I can look for it if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I know where to find it, if it's there. I like this input. Nudge with dependent. So it will be there somewhere, but yeah.
Okay.
I will search for it.
Cool. Is it also, do you know if there's a way to, for people who didn't watch yesterday, I haven't actually used Adobe XD that much, but it's pretty easy to learn anyways. But I do have some questions. So, Michael, is it possible these things are grouped together? Like this is grouped, this is grouped. Is there a quick way for me to like say, select just those? Like just the lines, sorry, as opposed to these texts, these names.
Because the lines are inside the group.
Yeah.
No, you need to enter into the group, or you need to ungroup. That's what I would do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just did that.
That's
totally fine.
Okay, so if we check user voice, look at that. We had someone, Cameron Sergey, who said, "Oh yeah, I want to custom multiply nudge distances. In case this suits 30 pixels." So I think this is what you described.
Yeah, totally.
3 or 4 times.
I don't know about multiple nudge distances.
Yeah, maybe it's
just custom.
Complex. But to find it, so I went to adobe.xd.uservoice.com and I searched for nudge, and here you have 7 ideas.
Nice.
Pixels to move with arrow keys. Or maybe that's the one. I work with the 8 pixel grid. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. We need to vote for this one.
Did you just vote for it?
I can vote for it. Okay, I need to sign in, but yeah, you get it. So you can go on user voice if you like this idea. I really like it. You should vote for it. And this is how it will get noticed by
Someone
the
said
product
20
managers.
votes. Cool. All right, so what I had just done is I wanted to shorten these lines so they fit inside. So I just ungrouped them. I'm just gonna group them back together so I don't lose them. And this box will come out here. So the pattern for material is you click in and then it moves that placeholder up above.
Okay.
I can just pull it up really quick. I'm trying to think if like it'll be kind of tedious to like prototype all of it. But... okay, there we go. It's really struggling to load things. Oh, maybe that's fine. Yeah, so it does this typically where if you click in, the label moves up.
Okay, and it becomes smaller. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
and
if
blue
we want to like, prototype all of that. I think maybe for the sake of our user testing session tomorrow, I'll just like maybe put in the labels always or something. Because it's probably not worth it to do like all the little animations.
Yeah, and maybe in one tap, it will automatically fill in the text fields.
Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah. I won't bother with it then. Cool. Save name and email.
So I guess the user will tap on sign in, gets this,
yeah,
try to enter the name, and then you can.
Cool. And I'm just gonna copy over the name and email over here as well. Oops. I'm gonna group those together and move these up. Cool. Let's see how far these are from. Oh, I can't. Oh, 33. Okay, cool. 33 is pretty random. Let's go with 32. I'm actually gonna kill those images because I'm not using them anymore. Yeah.
Guess you have to unlock first and kill. Yeah. That's better.
Yeah.
And that's the background that you.
Yeah, I'd originally pulled it
website.
in. Yeah, I'd originally pulled it in because. Oh, there we go. I thought I wanted to follow the pattern that we have going, where we have like these cards and like this background, but. Since we're playing with mobile, there's not too much space as it is, so we'll just go with this for now. Cool, so let's see where we're at. Probably need to tighten up this stuff, but it's fine. Sign in. This thing opens. We probably need a thing to actually say like, yep, log in. So I'm gonna move everything
if you
down.
already have an account.
Yeah, like an actual button. Like if you see in here,
actually, you have it
email
before.
address, password, login, cancel.
Oh, like the, yeah.
Yeah, right underneath.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go with that.
Here
That is huge. Login and.
Oh, Mari's asking you a question.
Yeah, what's the question?
Why does not Chucky have work on Behance? Ah. Good question.
Pretty bad about updating things on Behance.
Yeah, but now maybe you can explain also what you're doing, because you're not a freelancer, like you're working for.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I don't have a lot of work that you can view on the internet in general, because I work at a company called Pivotal, so we do all client work, so I can't really talk about it. Which makes showing recent work pretty hard. But you can always look at my website, as Matthias just posted for some things there.
Design.
Oh, the design. Very mysterious, yeah. Cool.
And Pivotal Labs, maybe you can explain what...
Oh, yeah, totally. So, for those of you who weren't around yesterday, I work at Pivotal Labs, which is... Pivotal Labs, which is a part of Pivotal. We're essentially, we do software consulting, where we work with our clients to build software and also teach them how to build it better. So we work particularly, I work out of the New York office, so I flew in from New York, and I work with a lot of large corporate clients that, they're doing really well, they're very successful, but they're starting to see that they have a lot of inefficiency in the way that they build software. Either they're, it's taking really long to build certain things, or they're building things that they launch and then don't have, the desired outcome, or, doesn't have as much user value as they thought. So these are the things that we want to teach our clients to build more valuable products, but also build products with better code quality that are more sustainable, and also teach them how to have teams that are just happier and more excited about the work that they do anyway.
Okay, so it's also about the culture.
Yeah, that's a huge part of why a lot of our clients come to us. Pivotal has a very, very unique culture. We work a fixed 9 to 6 with a 12:30 to 1:30 lunch break. So everyone works this time.
At the same time.
Yeah. Every day, and literally no one works outside of those hours. Like, you see, it's 6 o'clock, and like everyone's just stopped working. Everyone just goes home, which is incredible, right? And
is there a ring bell or something?
No, there's not. That would be pretty crazy.
At school, bling, and everyone, okay.
But the reason why we do that mostly is because we pair all the time. So if you're not familiar with pairing, it's this concept where let's say I'm pairing with Michael, Michael would be like a client designer of mine, and we would have one machine that we hook up.
Oh, okay.
We would have
With
two
the
monitors, two keyboards, and two mice, and
Wow.
we'd be working on the same exact thing. So the sort of flow of pairing would
I
be.
never tried that.
Yeah, you should try it. It can be a little crazy, but you get used to it really fast.
Okay.
So how that would happen is, let's say we're working on this app together. I would say, okay, so I'm going to start by driving, and I would talk through everything that I'm doing, much like how I'm doing actually in the live stream. Someone was saying like, oh, you like explain really well what you're doing, and I was laughing because literally that's what I do all the time. I could probably not design in silence. Like that would be even harder for me. So basically I'm talking through, oh, okay, I'm going to go grab this element, let me clone this, blah, 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 while you are engaging with me. So maybe you have feedback like, oh, what do you think about trying this?
I can take control and try something.
Yeah, so typically you'd, a good pairing would be, if let's say you want to take control, you would say, oh, do you mind if I drive? Or like, can I drive? Or can I try this? There's a lot of communication that you need just so it's not like we're fighting for the keyboard.
Yeah, Juan is asking like, don't you end hitting your partner on the head?
No, never. I've never felt that way. It's usually really balanced. Or even if like, let's say Michael's driving and I like have an idea, but maybe like I don't want to dive into the screen yet, I might grab a notebook and like sketch it out and say like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And Michael might say like, oh, yeah, let's try that. And like maybe he'll run with the idea, or maybe I'll say like, oh, let me drive. And so then I'll start working on it in the application or something like that.
Wow.
So and
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we pair all the time. And I would say it's even more of a thing for engineering. They'll do the same exact thing. And product managers, they'll do the same exact thing.
So even developers, it would
yeah,
say,
so that's also a really crazy concept. Most developers have this thing where like, oh, I enjoy being a developer so I can like, you know, kind of like huddle in and like just do my thing and like listen to music. But this is like a highly collaborative, we're talking about every line of code.
Yeah.
Like it can be really intense, but what you get out of that is, first of all, there's no code review. So I've definitely worked at companies where code review is such a backlog where you're like waiting for like some more senior engineer to like look at your code. But like, let's say Michael needs to look at code that I wrote. You probably don't even have the context of like what I did or like the decisions I made. So then there's just like a lot of back and forth of you commenting on things, being like, are you sure that's the right way to do that? And like, maybe they're good comments, but maybe they're also like, I know, like, I picked that design pattern because of like X, Y, Z, and then like we're spending all this time, as opposed to if we were literally working on it all the time together. We don't need that code review.
Yeah.
What's also really cool is
yeah, Ryan said it's like playing a multiplayer video game, a collaborative video game.
Except you have the same controls, so it's actually even more so.
And you're in the same team. Yeah, that's good.
The other thing is you switch pairs every day. So let's say today we work on a user story and then we don't finish it. And then tomorrow we come in and say, okay, who is the pair that was working on this user story? Okay, great. Michael's like, hey, I want to stay on this user story. And then we'll find someone else to pair with you on that user story.
Oh, I see.
And so what that creates is like everyone on the team knows so much more about the code base, instead of what happens a lot of times is like a story comes up and it's like, oh, well, let's have Michael do that because he's the only one who knows about that part of the code base. Right? And that becomes a problem because then like, what if you're sick? What if you have too many things going on? What if you like leave the company? That can be really problematic.
Yeah, they really like that. They say, oh, it should be an industry standard.
Yeah.
Does it have a name actually?
It's just called pairing.
Pairing, okay.
Yeah, if you want to read more about pairing, you can even search like pairing in Pivotal. I'm sure there's a lot of things written about that.
Articles.
From Pivotal too. Yeah,
wow.
It's a huge thing
awesome. I had no idea.
at Pivotal. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So where were we? Okay, so I added this login and cancel button.
So we can log in.
It's not super pretty, but that's okay. So where I can enter my name, email, and presumably this stuff just gets populated or popped down.
Is there a border somewhere? I'm just trying to understand, like, is there a rectangle, like a master one?
Yeah, I think this is a mask. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a border, you see?
I'm gonna kill that.
Thanks.
You're right. I was like, why is this this dotted line not
Dotted
showing
line,
up?
yeah, exactly. The same concern.
Cool. Cool. So from here, I'm probably gonna have, this probably doesn't need to say register because they're not actually ready to register. Maybe we'll just say like next or something. And, oh, this is a trick that I really like is, let's say I want to change this to, let's say these two things, I'll use this tool to center them. Oh, they already were centered. And then I want to actually change it to next, but like, it's kind of annoying because like now it's like to the left, right? And I like waste all this time. I can either go in and just like select this, but then like I have to do that every time. Like what if I wanted to say like next with like an arrow? So I'll actually go in and switch this to center and then change it to next. And then it'll just be centered already. It's really great.
Do you want to review some entries?
Yeah,
just
sure.
to inspire our friends. So today we ask you to design an experience. The theme is book a trip, and they have a UI kit to start with. Okay, so there is a Travi, for instance, where I can sign up. Do you have a place in mind? Do I have a place in mind? I will ask, what's hot right now? Okay, we have all these places. Okay, can I click on something?
Oh,
here.
that one.
I want to go to this one. Whoa, yeah. So,
It's like really slick. Book night.
And I can book it now. Yeah. So it's a first screen. That's the happy path, as you call it.
Yeah.
That's good. Adeline. Okay. Oh, it's funny, like an onboarding experience, like with already some comments from the users. Yeah. That's good. Okay, let's go to Lady Liberty. Oh, I can book. Things to do. And maybe manage my to-do list for my trip. Yeah, I see the spirit. Yeah, it's a good idea actually to anticipate. I want to do this, this, and this, and maybe you can check.
That's cool.
To plan your trip. Tripping. Okay, book a trip.
Such a cute looking plane.
Yeah.
Select your trip.
James Hotel. Okay. Oh, and there is a bar here. Okay, we have 3 screens. Yeah. Awesome start.
Cool.
And this designer kept actually
the color scheme.
The color scheme. This one is different. Oh, okay, so it's about the budget, so it's different. Select your budget and maybe, oh yeah, it will give you
where I can go,
where you can fly, maybe the distance.
List tomorrow.
Oh, and there is a map. Okay,
Click
we can
to
go
accept
there.
or shuffle. What's the scroll?
Ah, you can shuffle. Here is shuffle.
Okay.
So I mean, or I can accept.
That's a shuffle?
Yeah, let's do it again. Yeah. So it's not very obvious, but I guess either I can accept or I don't want to go to New York, try something else. And then it will tell me this other airport.
Okay, that was really subtle, yeah. Cool.
And then someone will contact you. Okay, interesting. Let's get you there. Okay, it's very clean.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, choose a time. So like, yeah, I want to be there. Book this tour. And we can confirm with the fingerprint. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, very clean. Like,
that's
see?
Fun. Yeah.
How in a few minutes you can...
with the UI kit, yeah.
Have a very clean experience with the UI kit, but at least we understand the user flow. So
yeah, very cool.
Good job. So keep sharing. We will review more entries in a few minutes and during the show. But yeah, this is great. And be active in the chat, ask questions, because we will do a giveaway with XD goodies to someone who is active in the chat. So keep asking questions to Jackie.
Sweet. Cool. So,
and if I didn't showcase your entry, I will showcase it later. Don't worry, everything is tracked.
Cool. So I moved this. Also, just so everyone knows, we're working on a responsive web app, not like a native device. In case you're wondering why this like next button is like not like near the bottom. Although we could, it's probably not super important though. No. It'll just be like wherever it needs to be. Cool, so we have name and email. Maybe let's show populating it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, it shouldn't be name and email at all. It should be email and password. I'm gonna kill this one. Oh,
you want a quick trip? Like, can you delete this artboard?
Yeah.
Okay, select the previous one. You just do Command D.
Command D. Nice. Duplicate.
It will put it next to it.
Cool.
You can. So do you want to try to do the Google Material thing?
For
like here,
moving up
with the small email in blue. I think it was blue.
Yeah, I closed it already. I didn't close it already.
And this is when you type. Okay.
Yeah, it's like when your focus
after.
is in. That's what I was thinking. Like, I don't know if it's worth doing all of it.
No.
Because I'm not trying to like test.
Just get the final result.
Yeah. Okay. Let's put an email. We'll just call this like wushu@gmail.com.
Hi Kilian, thanks for joining. We're working with Jackie Ho on this app to register to a sporting event, if I have to summarize it.
Password mask icon symbol. What is that thing?
Oh.
I want to copy that thing over. Yeah, that. Crap, I already clicked on it.
Is it in the UI kit maybe?
This?
The high password.
I just need
maybe it is, in the Google Material UI kit.
Oh, yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Maybe in the recent one. Yeah, let's see. Because I remember that yesterday there was a password field. It's somewhere. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no.
Lists, cars, tooltips, dialogues, chips, notifications, index, scroll bar, buttons, text fields. I don't see
Any text fields? No? There's nothing?
No.
So yeah, it's a weird character, the dot.
Oh. It's cool. We'll just go grab it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to deal with it as like a text element, not like a dot. Anyways, this. There you go. I think I just copied it on top of itself. Oops.
I think so. Oh yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Cool. Woo. All right, so we'll bring it up.
So Andres, is there a way to do a search for this item? So in the UI kit, I don't think we have a search engine actually in XD. It would have been nice. No, there is no search.
Cool. So I just made these darker because this is placeholder
text. Why not use the asterisk key? Because we wanted the dots.
Yeah, it's gotta be realistic.
like Google Material.
Cool. So let's say this person logs in. These fields would probably be. Oh, I totally didn't do your Command D thing. Just like have it. To copy the artboards.
So the UI kit we were checking, if you want to get it like the Google Material UI kit, you go in File, Open UI kit, and you can select the one from Google and download it from the Google website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Paulina is asking, can I mask items on XD? Yes.
Yeah.
In Objects. In the Object menu, or you do Command Shift M, Shift Command M, like mask. But you need to need to have a picture. You draw a shape on top of it. You select both, and like you can create a mask.
And then now I can create a mask. Object mask with shape.
Yeah.
I don't want that though.
I know.
But that's how you do it. Did it yesterday actually. Or it's like on this image right here. This is a mask group. Like that.
Oh yeah, good job.
Cool. I was gonna take a look at my ticket that expired. So after you log in, I think it just says something like, you're logged in, but I don't actually want to log in.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Hey, Jackie. Yeah.
We can just, I guess it logged in as wushustar@gmail.com. And I'm gonna kill these guys. Great, so let's say we logged in. Maybe we can use like some boldness. Bring this up. And this now needs to switch to log out. I will do the same with this one, where I want it to be right line, so I'll switch it as a to a right line before changing the text. Cool. So now, so that will change to log out. Logged in as Wushu, and let's say this actually now has some information. Let's actually use my user's name. We'll make it really realistic. I wonder if we should get rid of the email, because now.
Yeah, you're logged in, so.
Yeah, we'll say that you're not allowed to register with a different email.
Yeah, that would be weird.
And as for the affiliation, so this will be
just asking questions about the grid, the grid space and everything. So, so there are two types of grids in XD. Maybe I can quickly show them. So if we go to, let's just create a new artboard. So we go in the, I can duplicate this one. And okay, I will do something lighter so you can see the grids. So when you have a screen, you can select the artboard, and you have two types of grids. So the first one is the square grid, where you can have your 8, you like, 8 pixels between the elements.
Gotcha, yeah.
And actually, it's a good way here to see. Oh, I'm not perfectly aligned here. I should resize it. Like, it will automatically snap to the structure of the grid.
Oh, cool.
And the other one is more for responsive websites. So it's the layout one, where you can say, okay, I want 4 columns, and my gutter width should be 10 pixels. And if you design the mobile experience, and after you decide to resize your artboard to create the tablet experience, for instance, then the columns will also be resized. Not your visual assets, but also the columns. So these are two different ways of working. Usually with apps, you have a kind of fixed dimensions, so you would prefer the square grid, but for web design, you would prefer the layout grid. Yeah, but it's really up to you. Or you don't use a grid. I mean, and now you're using the grid.
Yeah, I just turned on the grid. I just went to window and switched.
So there's a shortcut to hide it very quickly. What is the shortcut? Is it with a comma? No.
I don't even remember how to turn it on. Oh, it's right here. Show. It's command comma. No, command apostrophe. So if I do this, that'll turn it on and off.
Yeah, good job.
Ooh. All right. Cool. I wanted to bump all these up. Great. This is cool.
And someone is asking, is ProtoPie included or is it an extra fee? Oh, yes. So yesterday we released a new version of XD. And thanks for using it, by the way. But we introduced third-party integrations. So now XD can communicate with Zeppelin. So this is the software that you know. And also ProtoPie. I think ProtoPie is to create micro animation, but I'm not sure. I tried it. Yeah, mobile interaction. So ProtoPie is awesome. Using, I think, Command-Shift-E for export, it's a special export that will communicate, enable a bridge between XD and ProtoPie, or XD and Zeppelin. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Phaser, yeah, Zeppelin. So, yeah, I really invite you to try it if you want to use Zeppelin to publish your design specs. We're still working on our own design specs, but if you're already a Zeppelin user, feel free to use it.
Cool. Just use that time to tighten up some of this visual stuff. It looks a bit cleaner now.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Makes a difference.
It does make a difference. Well, it depends. I would say like my philosophy for fidelity is, so I generally feel like I like move really pretty fast. So I'll start to like throw in visual stuff as opposed to doing like what other people like, or what you see really commonly with like gray boxes and things like that. Especially because I'm working with like an existing app, so I like already kind of have an idea of like what branding. It would look like exactly. But as for like how like do I want to be like pixel perfect like right now, I would say that I don't really care about that because the most important thing for me right now is I have an interview tomorrow. Like this needs to be ready.
To be ready.
This prototype needs to be ready. I need to prepare questions for that. Like, so I'm not gonna try to perfect all the little visual details because my user is never gonna notice that stuff like that. He's gonna notice, hey, I don't understand how to choose an event. Like that's the problem. So, yeah.
And thanks for doing that. It will be really one of the first user interview we'll have live.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. No, I'm really excited.
Just the fact that you will be asking questions and it should be...
Watch someone actually fumble through my prototype. Cool. So I left off with the affiliation. So so typically a user may actually have multiple affiliations. So for example, Tim, he might go to a Wushu school, but if he's participating in a collegiate competition, he might want to say that I'm part of Columbia because it's weird to say everyone there is like representing their college. So let's just say for now, we'll auto-populate it with like whatever was the last used one. That could be like the logic for now. So I'll just throw in Columbia University for now. And I'm gonna bring these up to, oh, there we go. Let's just say that last time he registered for something, this is the name that he used, and this is the affiliation that he registered with.
I see, okay.
Cool.
So yeah.
And I'm just gonna bring this back up. Cool. So I'm logged in as Wushu Star.
Phaser, yeah, so this is a drop down, like Phaser is asking.
Yes, this is a drop down. It's very subtle right now. Cool. So now that I've logged in, what do I want to see next? So the next thing that I had sketched out is probably the most important part of registration. I'm expiring out of all these Eventbrite events. So I was thinking last night about what a type ahead multi-select experience would look like on a phone. And an example of that I actually use all the time, oh, I have my phone with me, is something like Swarm. So I use Swarm a lot. Swarm is like an extension of Foursquare, if like people haven't seen it before. It's really small. I can hold it under here.
Show it here. So it's called Swarm.
Yeah, so this is Swarm, and I'll hold it the other way.
Wait,
this is straight up. Oh, yeah. Okay. So the pattern that I was looking at, let's say I want to check into Adobe. Here, this says, check in your friends, and here's a list of like all my friends.
Okay.
But then I can also filter down this list. So this is a combination of like filter plus multi-select. Because you might be participating in more than one event. But at the same time, if you are, I know yesterday I sketched out this thing where like you didn't show the full list and you had to just start going ahead with the type ahead. Yeah. And I realized that might be kind of problematic because if you're a competitor that is kind of new to Wushu, you might not know all the events that are out there. You might not know like, oh, I do want to do broadsword, or they don't have this event. So there might be an element of exploration there. And I think like this list is going to be pretty huge. So like you'll definitely still want a way to like filter it down.
Okay.
And then also for context, typically a person's only participating in max 4 events. That's pretty much the maximum. Most people are probably just doing like 1, maybe 2. So we're not like selecting a ton of things, but we still want the ability to maybe see the ones that you had selected. So the way I kind of like the way that Swarm handles it. We probably don't want to do something exactly like this, but let's say this would show all the events. I could go ahead and say, I see the event that I want and select it, and that would show up either at the bottom here, or I was thinking maybe it can show up at the top to show you what you had already selected. And then when you, the more interesting part is what does it look like when you filter down the list. So let's say I search for someone, that will then remove like the whole list, and this is just based on what I searched, and then I can go ahead and select it. And Swarm does this thing where it'll automatically pop you out of like that filter. So that's like kind of nifty. Maybe we can do that. I don't think it's a huge deal for someone to just say like, okay, I'm done selecting this. Just back with the
with
delete button.
With the cross to delete everything.
Yeah, or like select all, or like just like
it's not
clear it out. Actually, now that I think about it, you might want to keep it because
you can have like two.
So
two JSON.
The names of the events end up being something like the beginning part of the event name often sound really similar. So it's like beginner male X, beginner male Y. So I might want to be looking at all the beginner male events and say like, yep, this one, yep, this one. So I might want to filter the list by beginner male. So that we'll keep the filter, unlike what Swarm does. So I'm not gonna sketch that out. Realistically, I would actually just look at a pattern that someone else is doing and then just like mess around with it, like in the prototyping software. So, so going back here, this is still the event.
Hi Ganashiam, thanks for joining. So we're designing an app with Jackie. It's called Kipup. It's an extension of an existing app, and this is a registration process for an event. So here it's the sign-in experience, and now you need to choose the event. So that's what she was mentioning, is that you can have several events. So what is the best experience to quickly find the event where you want to contribute? And we had a question. We wanted to see a gradient sample. I think it's Paulina. Okay, so
let's do it.
Yeah, I can just quickly show you how to handle gradients because there's actually something new. So if we, let's start with a blank one, a blank artboard, and so it could be on any shape. Okay, so if you go here in fill, you can of course change the color, and at the top, it's not very easy to discover, but this is where you can switch between a linear gradient that we had for a month now. Okay, so you pick the first part, and here you pick the second one. Okay, so this is how you can change it, and you can here choose the orientation of the gradient and also the limit. You can also add steps. Okay, so here I can just quickly shift it to do something greenish and choose where I want to add this step. And now this is new, you have the radial gradient. So basically it's the same, you can add as many steps as you want, make it bluish here. And you can here change the orientation, the feather. Yeah. And here you can also change the shape. So it doesn't have to be like a perfect circle, but we can do a cat eye.
Or like a galaxy. Oh, nice.
Here we go.
Nice. XC is gonna be my go-to cat eye creating software now.
Maybe we should market it this way. I don't know why. We keep pushing on UX design.
UX whatever. Making cat eyes quickly with radial gradients. That's the thing that everyone needs. Cool. So I'm gonna keep this information at the top here. That's about the event. And then maybe we'll say, let's see. Okay. I'm just gonna start dropping in some boxes where this will be a place where I'm gonna start typing, and maybe we'll have like our list of things underneath. In Kipup, actually, we have this list, this view where you have like a search box like this, and you have the events like this. Maybe we can do that actually. I kind of like the separation where you have this on top of like a list of events.
Oh yeah.
And that's it'll probably honestly look really similar to that on the desktop view anyways.
Yeah, yeah. It was
so we'll
great.
go
It's
for
easy
that.
to read. Yeah, I like it.
Cool. I'm gonna see if I wonder if
And
that
just
rounded
Phaser says,
edge.
I don't think we can save gradients. Actually, you can. Just showing that, but like in the swatch, it doesn't work. So that's why it's confusing, because you have a color swatch. And you're, oh no, it doesn't save my gradient, just save a color. But if you use the assets panel on the left, this is where you can save a gradient. Again, not easy to discover, sorry, but it works very well actually.
And to answer Juani's question, it's just
Can you
for
repeat the
forms right
question?
now. Oh,
So,
yeah. So Kipup right now is for scoring forms.
Forms,
Yeah,
yeah.
and not sparring. That's scored completely differently.
Cool.
But maybe in the future. It was pretty complicated. So I was looking through
version
the
3.
material UI kit, and I'm just gonna grab this
Nice.
this pattern here where we have the search bar.
Yeah, you can ungroup, you know, like because everything is grouped by default.
Oh yeah.
So I would just break everything.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh, but I lost the. It doesn't keep the. There's no border on it. That's okay.
Well, it's easy to add.
Yeah.
It's a transparent border, you're right.
Oh.
So is this a max? This? Oh yeah, it was a group 2, and now there.
I think I selected
Yeah,
some
I saw the
extra
border.
thing on the outside. There you go.
Oh yeah, good job. Is it a transparent border?
Yeah, it's like fully transparent. There you go.
Thanks.
And,
Thanks, Google. Nice
cool.
trick. I can imagine picture the designer at Google saying, hey, you know what? I'll put a transparent border. So when Jackie would go live.
It's like it's doing some like. There's something else on it too. There's like 2 things. Okay, I'm gonna delete one of them. Okay. Wow, there were a lot of paths going on there. There was like 2 paths on the left side. So hopefully that'll be better. Cool. And that's really freaking dark. Let's just lighten that to something. That looks fatter than 1 pixel.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Why is that? This is 1 pixel. That's weird. There we go. I found it. Oh, that was really fast. But it was doing this where it like does
It
one
was
on the
not pixel
inside and the
perfect.
outside.
Yeah.
So I'll just switch it to the inside for now.
Good job.
Cool. Oops. So we have. I'll regroup this and kill the mic. Cool. So I'm gonna say search events, and I'm gonna go ahead and let's re-grab that. I really like how this part looks with like there's like a background behind it and then the list. So maybe we can do something
that's
like
nice.
that. Yeah. Maybe we'll copy this over. Oh, we're probably gonna have a fill here. That's white with full opacity. And nope, I didn't get it. Oh, because it's on gradient, solid color. And
And the opacity is full. Oh, that's the path. Okay, I get it. Like the border is a path. It's not a rectangle.
okay.
I think it would be easier to redraw a
Yeah,
rectangle.
at this point.
I can tell that the designer at Google imported something from Illustrator.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why it created so many layers and stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do this.
Yeah, it would be easier.
Yeah, I was gonna check out. Yeah, okay. Maybe we can take one of these colors
Oh, yeah.
for now. Oh,
Oh,
this is the trick that we did
the trick,
yesterday,
yeah.
that we learned. You
Jackie's
can
trick.
say fill and use this eyedropper and just like go to anything. It doesn't have to be in XD. And now we have that color. And I'm gonna copy over these guys. Cool. Search events. I'm gonna kill this just border, and now we have that. Is like looking a little crazy, but let's put in all the other elements.
At least
for
you're
now.
working on the structure.
Cool.
That's
so
nice.
I'm gonna grab, because I don't want to like type a lot of things. I have a lot of list of events just lying around everywhere. So let's just pull up an actual list of events. Event list. There we go.
You know, there is a nice trick in XD. Like if you create a text file with one event per line, you can drag and drop it on a repeat grid, and it will.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to copy paste extra. So
Nice.
maybe we can try to do that.
Cool. I just realized I didn't want that. I wanted this.
Yeah. So let's try to copy that in a
Into
in a text file, you know, with no formatting.
Any text file?
Yeah, maybe text edit
Oh.
or Sublime, yeah. But with no. Make sure there is no formatting, and there's just one event per line.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you can
Huge.
save it, you know, we call it like events.txt anywhere
Oh, actually, in that case, let's just grab
on the
one.
desktop. Or,
Wait, actually, this could I just use the CSV? Or is it too big?
CSV, I think there is formatting in the CSV.
Okay, it needs to be. It has to be a text file.
Usually there is either tabs or commas. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I got a bunch.
It's one colon, it might work, but yeah. Let's do it with Sublime. At least we know it will
Cool.
work.
So you want me to save this?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I'll just pop it into. Yeah.
And be active in
Anyway,
the
we'll
chat
just do it here.
because we will start giving away the XD socks, the XD logo, and also this new XD notebook, okay, with the mantra, which is design, learn, share, prototype, with the spaghettis everywhere. So be active in the chat for a few minutes. Say hi to Jackie. Feel free to ask questions,
Cool.
and
so
we will pick someone.
cool. So I have it saved. Now what?
Oh, okay. So let's say this is how you want to format one event.
Yeah.
Okay, so do Command R to create a repeat grid. Now take the handle and go down.
Cool.
Okay, so you can fix now if you want the space, the gutter between the. So you just roll over.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. And if you roll over between, yeah, you see here you can set the space if
Okay.
you want to. It can be more than one text field. So if you want to do a repeat grid with the box, so maybe we can do it after. Like if you want to show the lines, you know,
Yeah.
the separators and
I was
stuff.
gonna say we probably want to have like these lines in between them.
Okay, so I will show you and maybe you can start again.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, we do a live tutorial.
Yeah.
Okay, select your grid. Okay, that's good. So now with the Finder, you will drag and drop the text file on the first item here.
Okay. Let's go grab it. Here we go.
Here we go, on the first item. Just, yeah. Can you add the .txt extensions just to make
Yeah.
sure XD understand what's coming?
Oh, that was it.
There we go.
Nice. Cool. Dope.
So you just did it with text, but so
Oh gosh.
yeah, you can also, and you can do that with pictures, like really anything.
Yeah. Cool.
So same with pictures. If you have like 100 pictures and you create a placeholder, you drag and drop, and it will populate all the pictures.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, it should save you a lot of copy paste.
Yeah. All right. These things, if I wanted to, because like this one is now getting cut off, is there any way to edit that so that it doesn't get cut off?
What do you mean by cut off?
So
Where
this
is it
text is
cut off?
actually cut off right here by the repeat grid, but like this is not what I want.
A good point. Okay, so how can we do that? So I guess it's because of this one, which is the first item.
Yeah.
So that's the reference, I think. So maybe we should convert it to this, like a text block, and extend it. So now if we extend the repeat grid, no, not yet. How does it behave? we do this? Maybe we. Okay.
Interesting. Maybe you have
So
to
we
start
should
over.
have, yeah, we should do it like from the start.
Yeah.
But maybe we can.
Let's do the
Yeah.
lines.
So you can design one item, like one line. You know, if you want to add a background,
Yeah,
a border,
okay.
a line,
Cool.
a separator.
Yeah.
And the text we will do it. We will do a long one, so we won't be surprised.
Cool. Sweet. So just wanted to see.
And
what
there's
we're
a trick,
dealing with.
which are with the gutter width, but in this case, it won't fix it, unfortunately.
Cool. I just wanted to see what styles we had going on.
Elena, I asked you to say something, Elena. You say something in the chat. Maybe you will win the XD Sucks.
Okay.
Oh, actually, we have a winner already.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so Jackie will announce the name of the winner, and this person will receive a private message on Behance to get the XD Sucks and the XD Notebook. And the winner is?
The winner is Yijo Kui.
Yeah, Yizu Kui.
Sorry, Yijo. I don't know.
Yijo Kui. Congratulations.
I also
Thanks
really
for
like
watching.
how this was written.
Yeah, it's
The
a high tech.
exclamation points.
Yeah, it's
Very cute.
high technology.
Woo.
Your feeds are cold, Cleo. Oh, stay tuned because in the other shows you will get more opportunities to win. So don't worry. Maybe you will win during the next show with our next guest. Okay. Oh, Yuzu. Okay. I see Yuzu in the chat. Awesome.
Nice.
Good
Cool.
job.
So I wanted to, I just popped into the app and wanted to grab the padding as well as the font size. So because it'll all be in the same code base, it'll just be easier if those elements are they would be the same. So I'm just gonna say text here, and I'll drop this to 12. That looks really small, actually. And I think the padding was 12, so we're just gonna create this box. And this needs to be 12, so...
Nice.
And here we go. I'm gonna decrease the height by 2, and we'll switch the border to whatever this color was. Let's see.
Huh. All right.
Okay, whatever that is. I wonder if I could just do the trick.
Maybe you can do the trip. I
Yeah.
think the color picker is very precise. So.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Amazing.
You got it?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
So this is
So-
the thing that we want.
Okay. Maybe we'll increase the contrast because with the video compression on the screen, I'm not sure they will be able to see it.
Oh, yeah.
They can. Yeah, they can guess.
It's
it.
really light. I feel like it came out a little bit lighter.
Yeah, maybe we can just copy it up. Yeah, here we go.
Cool.
Awesome.
And I don't want the border on either side, so
Oh, you just
That's
go
fine.
outside the artboard.
yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so for the text, so we don't.
Oh, one
do
more
some
thing.
mistake.
So
Oh.
because it's a multi-select, while I'm at it, I'm just gonna go ahead and add like a
Oh yeah.
little
okay.
icon.
Yeah,
To say
that's
like,
smart.
yep, this is the one that I want. And I'm gonna actually put it on the left side.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So let's see. I wonder if the icons are gonna show up here in the UI kit for like selecting. Here, I got it.
Oh. Double click to go inside.
Is it still grouped?
Yeah, I think it's a repeat. It's a repeat grid.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, you see. Yeah. So if you double click, you will get there.
Okay, cool.
You can go in the second one. You can also break a repeat grid. Actually, it's a good way to show it.
Yeah, let's
So
break it.
you can ungroup the grid.
There we go.
There we go.
Nice.
So
that's cool. That's
it's
cool
good
that they
because
used it for that.
Yeah. Okay, now
Okay,
you're in.
now
the,
there are all these groups.
yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
group all those
and now you
things.
will be. Yeah, now you can grab it, I guess.
Oops. Nice. All right.
Nice.
I don't like how small this is. I'm gonna go back to 16.
No, it's too small.
Yeah, looks really small. And here we are. 12.
And our friends are still submitting some entries, so maybe we'll do the repeat grid and review some entries after.
Cool.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, actually, you don't want that. I mean, we'll keep it.
You want the classic one?
I want the unselected one. I thought that I copied them all over, but that's okay. Hang on over here. Let's get that guy in.
Good.
Cool. And
Okay, select the text.
Yep.
And select the text and convert it as a text box here and just push it to, there we go.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is what you want to repeat, right?
Yep.
The text, the checkbox, and the rectangle in the background. So select the 3 items.
Actually, okay, cool. I'll select these 3 things. Yep.
And now you can create a repeat grid and drag it down.
Oh.
That's okay.
And we'll
That's
decrease the spacing after.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do you drag the text in after.
Whenever you want, yeah. But you can decrease it now.
Negative. Cool. Sweet.
And you can
let's
drag
actually make more. Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. And let's drag our text over. What?
Yay! Awesome.
Amazing. Now we have a list of events. Cool. Sweet. Not like super digging this like pink here. Let's switch it back to. I'm gonna save it, but then also switch back to that. And we'll save this one too. Cool. All right, so we have search events. Maybe I'll put these in. Actually, no, we'll leave it for now. I'm gonna search for these events. Here, you can select them, you can scroll this list. Let's show what it looks like to select one. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's actually, none of these are events. I know none of these events are ones that my user is gonna want to register for because he doesn't identify as female. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that he types in something else. So let's search for advanced male, for example, because he's advanced. There's a lot of grouping stuff that came in from
Google.
Yeah. Here we go. I'm gonna bump this up. There we go.
Okay.
So let's say that's what this person searched for, advanced male, and we'll filter this list. Oh, I have an idea.
So maybe you can update the text file and drag and drop it again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oops. I'm gonna create a new file and switch over to that huge list that I had. And here's a bunch of advanced male events. I'll just copy that over.
And as you do the copy paste, I will show more entries, okay? Because they're still working on it. There is Bon Viaje, what's the destination? New York. Nice. It's a very clean UI with very flat choices. So in this case, the designer, I would say, removed the gradients. It also keeps it has a lot of impact too.
What's your destination?
Like if you look at the flow, what's your destination? New York. So that's actually a little bit what you are doing now, where I start typing in the field and I can choose and book, and then I can pay with and it's successfully booked. Yeah.
Nice.
There is flat app. Okay, so if you want to enter the challenge, you still have time. Maybe not during this show, but after we'll be live with 2 more guests. And this is the theme for the day. Okay, book a trip. All the details are in the challenge tab. Okay, so fleet, ready. Yeah, sign up. Thanks for using Adobe Stock. Ooh. Okay, so it's more like a sign-up experience, and this would be the first experience. Yeah. Let's begin your next adventure here. Round trip, one-way trip, find flights. Okay, very clean. San Diego, Austin. Okay, yeah. That's clean. And Discover Cambridge. Okay, so this is more niche. King's College. Okay, so these are, I guess, all the activities, everything that you can visit in Cambridge.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a nice picture of Cambridge.
Yeah. Okay, keep sharing. We will review all the entries. You still have a little bit more than 15 minutes to submit yours, and then we will review all the entries again with Jackie at the end of the show in about 30 minutes.
Cool. So I had just added a new text file here. I'm going to drag it in. Let me just make sure I'm dragging it to the right place. That's not. And now we have a different set. Oh, so great. Cool. So we filtered this list. Now we are seeing advanced mail. And let's say that he selects one. So let's say he selects the second one here. It's interesting. There's like a. Do you see the hint?
There is like a.
There's like the hint of like a checkbox here.
The chef is somewhere.
It's okay. I'll just take this one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so he's selecting advanced mail.
Yeah.
Shinkwan.
It might be nice to like add like a color over it or something, so it's like more obvious that you selected it. We'll just fake it right now with like adding an overlay on top.
Arthur is asking, is the challenge the same as the context? Yeah, this is the same. We used to call it contest, but now we call it challenge because it's also about changing yourself, you know, to get better, use the apps. And it's not a competition. So now we are using the word challenge.
Cool. I was just trying to grab this color here. I think I got really close, but not quite. Cool.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty light. Cool.
Nice.
Let's say selected that one. Not we can mess with the exact colors later. So now that we might want to keep track of what those events look like.
Yeah.
Outside of this flow. So in Swarm, they had added this thing that's like a sticky footer at the bottom.
Okay.
That said, like, here are the events. That might be kind of nice because that, if we do that, we can then throw in our next button to be with it. So it's like, I'll just do it really quickly. Oh, actually, it's part of the same screen. So let's say the bottom of the screen is here, and we take this thing. And we'll say, okay, you selected advanced mail Tangshan. Have that here, and then we can have our next button up here there. And that'll like always be on the bottom of the list. I'm imagining that this part of the list will also be sticky. Now that I'm thinking on it, I'm just gonna kill these parts so that this can, there's like more screen space for like you to view the list.
Oh, yeah.
So remove everything up to the top. And we can maybe figure out a different color for the bottom of that. I moved this guy up too, but let's say it's sticky at the bottom. Cool. So I came in here, see the list, search, choose one, and now I selected it, and I see it at the bottom.
Yeah.
And now we want to say, if this is it,
If
we
that's
should
the
allow
one.
them to actually move forward. So maybe there's like a next button here. Yeah. Cool.
So what happens if I select 2?
If you select 2, yeah, it's a good question. Let's go ahead and, oh, you can do all of them right there. Okay. Cool. And I'm gonna drop the opacity of this and say that this is white or something for now. Cool. So let's say you actually select 2. Let's also select, let's say Tim also wants to do Tai Chi, because that's totally what he does. We'll copy over this. And as well as the checkbox. Oops. Here we are. And then we'll also need to show that here. So advanced, male, open, young. And we'll make it a text area text. Oh, that's what it was called. And it'll probably need to wrap. And there it is.
Okay.
Cool. That kind of looks weird. Maybe we'll just make it on a new line because they're kind of long. Unlike the names that we were looking at in Swarm, the wrapping actually looked kind of okay. So we'll just do that. And we'll keep the next button. We'll keep it centered with the bar at the bottom.
Okay.
Something
And
like
maybe for the user, so
Yeah.
the user won't be confused tomorrow. So, like, if we can you quickly connect these screens?
Yeah,
In the
let's do
prototype
that.
view. Yeah. I will show you what can happen during the user testing, but we can easily avoid it.
Cool. Connect to these screens.
Yeah.
So
Let's try from
here.
from here.
Yeah. So let's say you select this,
This. Yeah.
or you click this. You go to the next screen.
Typing,
Probably want no animation.
and then maybe the entire list. You know.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
selecting that list, you go to the screen, and then from here,
then here.
if you select another one.
Maybe you can
Oops.
ask the user to select or select another one. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
right.
select another one.
You're right. Actually.
Cool.
Okay, so if you go back to the first screen here,
Yeah.
you can select the artboard at the top, the entire artboard, yeah, and you do Command Enter for the preview. There we go.
Oh, nice.
So here you can scroll. Okay, so I will search to filter. Okay, I will select one. Boom.
Ooh.
And now the risk is that this can happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So maybe one trick that
Can
we
you?
could do is just that we can pretend that when it's filtered. Oh, I am in prototype mode. I was like, oh, what's happening? Maybe we can pretend that they're on the
Cool.
this.
Yeah, that's a
See what I
good
mean?
idea. We can do that.
Because we know
Just to
that,
make it cleaner.
yeah, and we
for
know
the
that
interview.
in real life, this
This
will
will be
be
fixed.
yeah, this will
Okay.
be fixed.
Is that coming though? Like fixing things?
Yeah.
Nice.
This is coming. We're just trying to find the best way to make it look, because fixing thing is one use case, but there's like so many. You could have a scrollable area, like so many things that you can do with fixed elements that maybe this one you want to change
Yeah.
the size of this one too.
Cool. Good call. And is it possible to fix the top as well or no?
Not yet. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
This is coming.
That's okay. All right, so let's say our user selects these two events
Okay.
and he's ready to move forward. So we probably want a confirmation page to say, hey, yep, this is the event that you're registered for. It might look pretty similar to something like this kind of view. So here you are. This is an event. Maybe I'll say
Oh, it's okay.
confirmation.
Just quickly, Samantha is asking something on the stream, so we just show how to do it, because it's true that if you've never done it, it's weird. She's just asking, when you connect to screens, what
Yeah.
user did, how can I remove a connection I don't want? So you take the connection here and just drop it in the void.
Anywhere.
Yeah,
Cool.
and it will remove the connection.
Cool. So with the confirmation screen, I probably don't need to see the date and time at this time and point. Actually, let's show it. We'll show the date and the location as we had done on those other screens. York, time and place. We'll say competition, collegiates 2018. I think I called it something else. Wushu collegiates 2018. So here's the competition. We'll have some spot for like registration info. Information. Or maybe we'll call it like basic information. So we have...
Andrew is asking good question also for future improvements. How can I pick a big female and an advanced male?
How to remove a choice if not among the searched ones.
Maybe we could have something to clear the text field. You know, like I want to take this one.
Yeah.
So
I thought.
I
thought she meant like how do I clear this? I mean that too. Everything. Yeah. We'll probably want to show that too eventually. But what we were thinking is that if let's say you need to switch to a completely different event, you would have to then clear this list.
You come back with your keyboard and it will refresh the list at the same time. Yeah.
And then you'll get back to this list and you can type something else. But right now there isn't really a good way to say like, if I'm back at this list, and so let's say I'm at this list and I had these events selected.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like this. There's not really a good way for me to say like, from this view, how do I deselect these events? I'd have to go back in and search for
them again.
So,
which is fair. I mean, like if you commit to select an event, I guess it's
another way we might think about handling that is we don't do a pattern like this, and we say like you just get a next button, and this entire list drops down, and you have something where you just see this like checked at the top. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, it would be another pattern.
That could be a way to do it, and then you see those like
that's
have like those checkboxes there.
Very good use case of user testing.
Yeah.
So maybe you could have two versions. You know, do A/B testing, two different patterns, and then decide which one is the more intuitive and more efficient for the users.
Oops. But yeah, good question. I think typically. I guess I'm like not too worried about this pattern, at least to start, because you like more or less know which events. You're not like filtering around for events. It would only happen. You would only really want to unselect if you had made a mistake, in which case you would know immediately if you made a mistake because you're still in this view. So you could just unselect
You can directly unselect. Yeah, yes, it's a good point. Which is better than the app you were showing. Because remember the app you were showing, when you select,
it clears it. And you have to research. That happens to me all the time. Because I have friends that are like, their names are almost exactly the same. They're off by like one letter. And I'm constantly accidentally selecting one instead of the other. And then it like goes away and I'm like, oh, wrong Jason. I have to retype in Jason, unselect. And when I unselect,
and you retype Jason.
But on top of that, when I unselect that Jason, it clears it out again. I have to retype Jason and then select the right one. It's like so crazy, actually.
So I think it's a better design pattern here.
Yeah, well, not jumping you away, but otherwise the like the clear away is what I want like 95% of the time. So I can see why they made that decision, but it's not always the best.
So Abdullah is saying, I have a lot of projects in XD, but we need HTML exporting. So you should check what we updated yesterday with this new release of XD with third-party integrations. One of them is Avocode, which is a coding environment, one of the best actually for the web. And maybe they added connections, so you directly at least generate some CSS properties, CSS styles, positioning to create your screens.
Cool. So yeah, maybe we can explore something like that later. This is really great. I'm so glad I'm doing this app because I really needed to design this anyways. Cool. So for the basic information, I have the name. What name did I use? Oh, yeah, I used the name of my actual user. He'll be pleasantly surprised.
Brickton is asking if this video is recorded or if we are live.
It is recorded.
It is recorded.
Yeah.
In 2014.
Cool. Basic information. We have, let's say this is the university, and we have his email, which is wushustar@gmail.com.
And Brickton, yeah, so you can access the replays. All the replays are available today on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel, but we're working with Behance to add a replay experience also directly on Behance. So you won't have to leave Behance, and you will be able to access everything with, they are working on a very nice UI that will be available very soon, hopefully.
Cool. All this stuff feels kind of small, so let's bring it up there. And now they all feel very tight together, so we'll also bring this up to 22 or something. Maybe not 22, maybe a little bit more. Cool. And I decided to not, I think what you typically see with like confirmation screens is like name, this, affiliation, this. And the reason why I'm not doing anything like that is there's only really 3 things in your basic information. So at a glance, my user's gonna know that like, yeah, that's my name. Yeah, that's my email. Oh, I typed it wrong. So we don't need any labels for those things. We'll also need a way for them to go back and edit this information if they did make a mistake.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a sec. Here we have my events. Advanced mail function. And advanced mail open young. Cool. Oh, and a thing that I also do a lot with lists of things is I'll use line spacing just to mess around with spacing as opposed to like having individual elements and having individual elements text lines separate and like measuring the padding or margins between them just makes my workflow a lot faster. But the downside of it is that if you use a software like Zeppelin or something where you're exporting CSS that a developer is going to look at, it's like kind of weird because a developer is going to want to use margin probably and not like line spacing for things in list.
Oh,
so
I get what you mean.
that's just something to watch out for.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Yeah, so the design space are very usually linked to the final platform. Like even for iOS, it will be different.
Cool. So here's the competition. Here's the time and place, basic information, and here's my events. If everything looks good, then I want to confirm.
Oh, and this is the contest, the challenge deadline. So we have received some entries. We start reviewing the entries in about 12 minutes.
Cool.
That's okay with you?
Yeah.
Just checking if I received it. Yeah, I received some new ones. Awesome.
Cool. Maybe I want to also, like I mentioned, include some information about pricing. So let's say.
Oh yeah, and we said yesterday that they would pay directly. At the event.
We were talking about yesterday how we probably don't want to handle
the payment platform. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to deal with payment right now. So, it's totally okay that the organizers like receive payment on the day of or receive checks. So, we'll leave it out and keep it simpler for now. Cool. So I just added in $60 for one event and $15 for each additional event, which I have one of, and maybe we'll do like a fancy line and say like, actually I don't like that. Total of we have $75 here. Cool. And that's how much I owe. Maybe we'll say something about like payment due to Columbia Wushu team on day of competition. And I'm changing it to text area again so I can wrap it and bump it up here. And I don't want that to be bold. Maybe we'll make it like italicized or something. Cool. I'm okay with that. Cool. Confirmation. We have time and place, events, payment, and we want to finish. We'll probably need some way to say, oh, I made a mistake. How do I go back? So let's see. I haven't added any back buttons yet.
Yeah, you were talking about the hamburger menu at some point.
Yeah, I actually done just like a small back carrot in the past, or in the sketches. So I'll probably need to add that for all of them.
Okay.
Back.
And there are some questions about communication between XD and Dreamweaver. So what we released this week is really a preview of what's coming, like third-party integration. So now Adobe XD can work with, I think, 5 applications from the market. So we talked about Prototype, Avocado, we talked about Avocode, sorry, we talked about Zeppelin. But the goal is to add more and more accessibility, and actually at some point to let anyone being able to extend Adobe XD, understand what's coming in, like what is described in an XD project, so you can export it to whatever platform you want. So we're still working on these third-party integrations. And then it will enable a lot of workflows. So Dreamweaver could be, one of them if you really want it. But it could be even be more open than that. But yeah, so this is something we have in mind. Although a lot of UX designers, so it's called the handoff stage, I would say. So it could be for designers, developers, the design specs is super important. Generating code, I'm not sure. Like we would have really to discuss the use case. Maybe start generating some CSS properties, style sheets. Why not? But then you will tell me that you use this type of CSS framework, maybe SAS, or someone else will use something else, or you don't use any framework. So even that, the way you organize code, it's always tricky. So we believe that maybe it's easier to just give you access to the information and you do whatever you want with it.
Cool. Just moving these down so we can line up the, or I can drop in this back button on all these pages. Not super into what that looks like. There's a lot of like hanging out space over here, but that's okay for now. And we'll also put that here. Drag this down and move the confirmation. Cool. I want to keep an eye on our time. How much time do we have before we look at
you have
entries?
Like 10 minutes.
Okay, cool. Let's throw this into prototype.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Looks like.
So what's the name of the user that will test the application tomorrow?
His name is Tim. That's
Tim.
the name that I've used actually in the prototype.
Oh yeah, good job.
Cool. So we get to the site. I'm gonna click register. No transition since we're doing a web app. It's not super important for us. In this case, our users actually used Kipup before, so he's going to sign in, which opens up this bit. Our user's gonna type his email, so let's just say that will populate it for the interview. So we have the email and he entered in the password. So this login will then go to here.
Okay, you have your information.
So now looking at this, which reminds me, you actually maybe want some sort of like disabled state for this login button. So I'm gonna switch back to design mode. I just did like Control Tab. I'm like a very shortcut heavy person always. So I'll just drop the opacity on that to suggest that it is indeed disabled since you haven't actually entered anything in. So email, password, login, get here, logged in as Wushu Star, cool, populated my name and my affiliation. let's say Tim is happy with that. We're ready to move on to events. Here we're looking at a list of events. Probably want this back button to be able to actually go back to the previous page. So I'm gonna actually group this with the arrow key so that I can link that to the previous screen. So I'm gonna do Control Tab again, select these two together, group it, and then switching back to prototype mode, I'll switch back here. Boom. So we have these wired up, this wired up, this we had wired up before, so you click this thing, let's say that simulates that Tim will type in advanced mail, and then selecting this entire list, won't know what he actually wants to pick, but we'll fake it.
It will select something.
It says that, oh, okay, great, I selected this thing, and then he wants to select another one, and we'll go here. Cool.
And then he presses next.
Cool, so yep.
He's ready.
I'm gonna, again, actually I'll just select this and go to the next screen, and here we are. Let's say, just in case we wanna take this back button back to here, if that's a thing that our user in the test will wanna do, and we're pretty much there. Not sure what the next screen will say, but let's drop one in for now.
Oh, it would be a thank you.
Yeah, maybe it's like, thanks.
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 You'll receive an email at this address.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
You're now registered for Wushu Collegiates 2018.
Make sure to come with $75, otherwise
you
wouldn't be able to compete.
Cool. Let's just leave that for now.
Okay. Yeah. A nice thank you note. Yeah, that's it.
Super huge. That's cool.
Awesome.
I'll bump this up. Oh. Looks pretty terrible. That's okay. Cool. And switching back to prototype mode, so this finish button will go to that page.
Yeah. Okay, do you want to test the prototype to make sure it works?
Yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and create the prototype. Oh, okay. It's doing it from here.
Yeah, so I'll show you how to do it. You go back here,
this.
and you select the home here. The little house. That's it.
Cool.
Okay, so let's try. Register.
Cool, register. Have an account.
Yeah.
I do have an account. Login. Oh, there's like a
dissolve.
There's like a we'll kill that.
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
Ooh.
Oh.
That's okay.
Cool. This one.
And this one.
And this one. Cool.
Next.
Sweet. Just kidding. Next. And finish. Yay! Let's kill those dissolves. Where were they? That one. This one? Nope.
No, it started with the list.
One.
Yeah, it started here.
Started with the list. Here?
Oh, that's weird. There's no...
Yeah. I was gonna say, I would have noticed if it had been, I don't know.
So why is there dissolve? That's... Wow.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll be okay with it.
Interesting.
What if I actually select dissolve? Ooh, that's not dissolve. I think it's just it's actually like
building.
It's actually I think it's just a little bit of lag. Because the dissolve is actually much gentler.
Okay.
Cool. All right. How much time do we have? I was gonna.
2 minutes.
Cool. So
I want to try
I'll just talk a
something
little bit about what sort of would be my next steps. So from here, I have this like share link. So iTunes.
Decline. Like,
Michael just plugged something into my computer. From this share link, I'm going to publish this prototype.
Oh, you want to see something?
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, so if we switch to the GoPro. So I've launched
great on your phone.
Adobe XD on my phone. So, and this is a live preview. So even here, like when you design, so let's say you want to change the position of this. Okay. So as I design, this is changing.
Amazing.
So it's a great way to check, you know, and also this is interactive. Cool. Okay, so if I type here, I can see. Okay, oh yeah. So I have hit like, oh no, okay, I want me.
Yeah, probably disable
to sign in.
Good catch.
Okay, login. Next. Oh yeah, I need to search. I need to select another one. I do next. I can scroll and finish. So it's a very good way. Oh yeah, thanks for showing both. And I can come back here, and I will show you again, like if you missed that. But when I'm on the design view of this one, it's really in real time.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like that would be really useful, especially for things like spacing or like font size.
Yeah,
it's like so hard to imagine what that looks like on your computer.
Yeah, and so it's a free app that you can download. And the only thing I did, you see, is just plugging with USB. Nice. And I have live preview, and that's it.
Nice, very cool. Sweet. You going through that made me think of we probably want to disable that because you actually aren't ready to register quite yet in all of these cases. Cool.
Cool.
You'll always discover loopholes in your design while testing out your prototyping. Yeah. Cool. So I had created the link. It's here. So I'm going to copy that link just so I have it. We already tested out all the like tech stuff for tomorrow, but I just wanted to show how, so sort of next steps would be link to prototype. And it's laggy. Oh, just kidding. There you go. Here you go. So I'm actually going to be emailing this link to the user, and he'll open it on his phone. And he's going to use the iPhone to via cable to like share his iPhone screen, because I want him to actually imagine using it on his phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
As opposed to clicking through it. Yeah, we're gonna try to make this as realistic as possible.
Super high tech tomorrow.
I might break up this. Typically, what I'll do is I'll have my prototype open on one half of the screen, and I'll create my questions through here. So there's like a more formatting and stuff. Well, first I would have some sort of like I always like to date my user interviews, so this is the one I'm having. This is the date that I'm doing it, which is tomorrow. There's gonna be some sort of like opening where I say like, hey, I'm Jackie, I'm working on this software. I'll say something like, I'm gonna start by asking you some questions, and then we'll dive into a prototype. Please think out loud, please be honest. Maybe I'll say something like, we're in the very early phases of this, so please be honest, like, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Even though it might be a product that we've actually worked on for months, but I'll still say that, just because people feel really stressed about, like, wanting to impress me. Cool. So there's some sort of opening, and then we'll get into questions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ready to review some entries?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So today we ask you to create a book a trip experience with the UI kits. So we have a new one called Dare, a travel app for the brave. Okay, I'm not sure why.
Find your destination. So brave.
Yeah, so brave. Brooklyn. Wow, yeah, it's for the brave. And you can invite friends too. You know,
dare your friends to join you for Brooklyn.
And they dare.
Booking complete.
Just tweaking all the instructions. So yeah, 11 screens, okay, with a very
lot of screens.
Bold typeface. Yeah. There is a trip phone also, invest in experiences. So it's my name. I want to invest. Okay. And okay. So you give your budget, and it will tell you what you can do based on your budget. Vahid. Okay. So apparently you are.
Oh, there's me.
Yeah.
I'm a travel advisor.
You want people to travel.
Side gig.
No, not this one. Okay. So where do I want to go? I don't know. Oh, here to London. Okay. And Vahid. So he did the same, but without it.
Nice.
So we have a lot of travel assistants.
Nice.
Oh, New York. Okay, this is where I want to go. From London. Okay.
Adventure confirm.
And then you remember, so we had a Bonne Viaje also, and they chose to remove the gradients, from the UI kit. We have this one with the sign-up experience, and then you have the details of your trip. Sky travel, find flights. These are all the flights, and I can select this one. Discover Cambridge with the search engine, and I want to go there. Travi with the sign-up experience, and
top places this week. Whoa.
Yeah, that looks like a nice place.
How come this one has a dark background also?
So it's when you publish your prototype, you can choose to remove the UI.
Oh, okay.
And go full screen in a way.
Oh, okay, that's what it's called.
So that's why there is no navigation. You see here there is a navigation at the bottom.
Gotcha.
And here it's completely hidden.
Cool.
You can also choose to, you see okay, if I go back here. No, it's a bad example.
Cool. Yeah, I probably want to do that for the user testing
Here you see the you can
hint.
now also, when you publish, you can decide to hide it.
Cool.
And then we had this one. Oh yeah, with Lady Liberty, and I think the things to do, was an interesting concept, where I'd say I want to do this, this, and this.
Like more exploration trip.
And book a trip here with the James Hotel. Okay, classic UI. And this one, you select a budget, and it will tell. Oh yeah, and you can shuffle or accept.
Price held for 24 hours. Congrats. View seating chart. Oh.
And this one, Viaja, your Chile travel guide. Login, you can type you can select this one. Yeah, very nice gradients. And you can pick your hotel, and you can pay. Okay, very good use of this free UI kit by Sarah Parmenter. So is there one that you want to reward because you like the idea or the concept?
Kind of like let's look at that one, the really flat one. Yeah, this one.
The flat one.
So what's your definition? You enter the amount, tells you.
Oh, that's
under 20
budget.
euros, really cheap.
And, yeah, under 2,000, and then you can choose from Vienna to JFK using this company.
Ah, okay.
And you can book and pay.
Okay, cool. And what about the one where you like shuffle?
Yeah, where you. So it was with the budget first. So that's this one, I think. Like you give a budget, and then you can either reshuffle,
leave tomorrow, price held,
or accept.
Yeah, this is very like last minute. Like this is gonna leave tomorrow. Do you want to go or not?
Yeah, this
confirm for pickup. Oh, so it's like the whole package is just like auto generated.
Yeah.
Wow, nice, cool. Discover
and search for rooms, and you select the room, the type of room, and you can book.
Nice. Cool.
Okay, so which one?
I'm kind of into this one. No, that one.
The Shuffle Lady.
Yeah, I think it like covers. It's like different in that if I were just like browsing for a hotel or something, I probably wouldn't do it in an app. I would probably just like look at TripAdvisor or all these other things. If I was just like browsing for like new experiences or like browsing for a hotel, but this like brings this new element of like, hey, you have a tight budget and you just want to go somewhere. Like, let's do it. Here's the time, and this is when it's happening. Here's just like one thing that you could do there.
And
Are
do
you
everything
ready?
for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. I like that.
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
Okay, so congratulations to the designer behind this experience. This is awesome. And Jackie, you will be back tomorrow? Oh, sorry. Can you clear the view? Sorry, Francisco. Yeah. So Jackie, you will be back tomorrow, right?
I will be back tomorrow.
At the same time.
Yep.
And we will do for the first time a real-time user testing with a team who will try the app that we designed today. So this is awesome. We are still live. Actually, there is a change of plan. We will welcome people from Adobe for the next show. They will talk about XD. Paul Trani should design something, no? Paul, how do you feel? You feel that you can design something cool today? Yeah, okay. So he will be the fake designer during the next show. So stay tuned. It will be an opportunity also to meet the people behind XD and ask questions about the roadmap, everything. Because Natalie cannot join us today, but hopefully she will be able to come back tomorrow. Okay. No Natalie Ryan today, but hopefully she will be back tomorrow. Okay. So thanks, Jackie. Bye, everyone, and stay tuned on behance.net/live. We will go back live in about 3-4 minutes. Okay, just the time to plug the computers. Bye, everyone.